Hello and welcome back to Whispers in the Woods, your weekly fix for all things horror. I'm your host, Emily.
I'm Devin.
And I'm Tom. Excited to be here, you guys.
Same.
Every week, I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to talk about horror movies. We're going to hit stop on the recording, and then we're going to talk about horror movies for like another 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then go home.
15 to 20 minutes, probably 2 or 3 hours.
That's true. It's conservative. Well, guys, you know what? This has been a giant week for horror news. So maybe we should start off the podcast with some of that.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, Wunmi Mosaku won the Best Supporting Actress BAFTA for Sinners.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so lovely.
And also Ryan Coogler got the BAFTA for Best Original Screenplay.
Yes.
So this is kind of portending well for when we have the Oscars coming up later this month.
Mm-hmm.
As we're recording, it's March 1st. So I assume we'll have some more Oscar-related news in later weeks.
Yeah, when is the Oscars?
I think it's the 14th, but don't quote me on that. Yeah.
Very soon.
Yeah, it's totally
wow.
coming up. Also, guys, Winona Ryder has joined the cast of Wednesday. Wednesday the show.
Right.
Wow.
Do you guys care for a Wednesday?
I'm gonna be
No.
real, not really.
But Winona Ryder joining it is significant because she collaborated with Tim Burton before on Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's bringing her in for an unknown role.
And Jenna Ortega for Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
Yeah.
crossover there. Also, you guys, Bill Hader is directing his first horror movie.
Ooh.
Are you guys fans of Bill Hader?
Yes.
Yeah. I like
me too.
him.
I love him. I think he's hilarious. But he's directing, probably starring in this movie, which is called They Know. It's shooting in LA in spring 2026. Should be out next year. And no, this is not some like sequel to They Live. It's about a divorced father whose children are influenced by a mysterious man dating his ex-wife.
Oh, that's interesting.
Let's see. Also, you guys are familiar with the X-Files reboot that's
Yes.
coming
Yes.
out. Also, Ryan Coogler, maybe his next project, at least his next like television project. So just recently there was some casting announcement. So Danielle Deadwyler has been cast as the lead. She has a killer last name as well. She should be in more horror movies. But she was in The Woman in the Yard and I Saw the TV Glow.
Yes.
Also, the X-Files pilot has been ordered at Hulu. So we over here in Canada get to watch it on Disney+.
I see.
Yeah.
Or pirating.
Yeah.
Yeah, next up, we just watched the trailer for HOKUM.
Yeah.
Oh,
A movie
man.
that looks really cool.
We had a
Yeah,
fun
to me.
time watching that trailer.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
God.
like 50 seconds, but it's got so much packed into it.
Yeah.
This is by the director of the horror movie Oddity.
I
see
loved
that? Okay.
Oddity.
Okay.
And Oddity, funny enough, had many good jump scares.
Sweet.
One jump scare in particular that made me scream the loudest I've ever screamed in a horror
Oh,
movie.
no way.
And I laughed so hard after because I screamed
Yeah.
so loud and I like surprised myself.
Was that in the theater?
No, it was in my living room.
Okay. This looks really cool. It stars Adam Scott. It's got this weird voiceover that's talking about a witch. Perhaps it takes place in a hotel. There's a weird, like, rabbit-eared lady that looks like late stages Michael Jackson that pops up for a jump scare.
That got Devin.
Really bad, yeah.
Yeah, that one got me. And you literally said, there's a jump scare coming.
And then it was like, boom!
Yeah.
I had to bury myself
That
in
was
the
pretty
sofa.
fun. Okay, my last bit of horror news. Guys, are you familiar with the movie called Scream 7?
Ugh.
Not a fan, I guess. I can't say if I am either because I haven't seen it. I'm not
Nor
a fan
I.
of the marketing or the decisions by the Spyglass Media Group
No.
and their use of AI in their marketing and
gambling.
gambling
and
apps. Yeah.
firing.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Melissa Barrera.
Yeah.
The actress of the lead of Scream 5 and 6 that they
Yeah.
just dropped
Yeah.
unceremoniously. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about this movie is that it's doing terribly critically, worst rated Scream movie of all of them, but also doing the best for the box office. It's shattering records.
I think it's because, like...
Maybe it's inflation.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
I think it's
inflation.
When a movie ticket costs $18
Yeah, compared
plus
to-
an online booking
Yeah,
fee.
exactly. Compared to like 1996 when it would have been like $7.
Yeah.
I like to think it's inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Could be that.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Yeah.
Not to say that every American
Yeah.
is like this, but I feel like, you know, there's a big population of people in America that probably don't care too much about what's going on with the film and the controversy, and they're going to see it.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
also not like the controversy is presented in the trailers.
No.
Like,
No.
you might just be a moviegoer, see the trailer, and then say, I'm going to go see that movie and do no research beyond that.
Yeah.
And that might be where the insane box office is coming from. I don't know. I personally am going to catch it on digital.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to pay to go see it.
No, when it's streaming.
That's all my horror news. And, Dev, I think you had at least one piece of
I actually have
juicy
horror news, guys.
news.
Believe it or not, I do. Is it Interview with the Vampire related? Only. Always.
Of course.
Always. So they
Big
just
surprise.
released a new clip. It's like a maybe 2 to 3 minute clip of Interview with the Vampire Season 3, also just known as The Vampire Lestat. And I won't tell you really what's happening in the clip, but what makes me happy is it's based in Montreal.
Yeah.
Which
they pulled a fast one on us.
Yeah, because usually the show is filmed in the States. Last season was filmed in Europe. And it's based in... I thought it was going to be based in the States, like in the book and everything, but they changed it and filmed in Toronto and calling Toronto Montreal, which I want to know. Why not just film in Montreal?
This season looks so fun.
Bombastic.
Okay.
Again,
I love
Emily, I gotta caution you, don't watch any of the trailers
Yeah.
until you've seen the first 2 seasons of the show.
'Cause
That
it will
also
be
goes for any
spoilers.
listeners.
Yeah.
But this season looks so cool that I just have to say, go watch the other 2 seasons. Get caught
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
It's going to be good. And the head writer is Canadian.
That's
So I'm
that's
wondering if
okay.
she's also like, you know what? We're going to base in Canada now. So
All right, Emily, what about you? Do you have any horror news?
Yeah, I have 2 trailers that I've watched recently that I'm kind of excited for the films. The first one being In a Violent Nature 2.
I didn't know this trailer dropped. This was a surprise because it came out like 3 days ago, right?
Yeah, it's very, very recent. It's pretty short. It's like 1 minute and 14 seconds, I think. And it's just briefly showing our favorite killer, Johnny.
Johnny's back. 0 design change.
Zero
Which is
design
interesting.
change.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that too because I really liked his original look in the first one.
Yeah, that antique firefighter's mask is like really cool.
And very iconic.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah, and then it also shows us that this one is going to be set at like a camp, like
Was
a kid's
the first
camp.
one not set at a camp?
Well, they were camping, but it wasn't like
okay. A summer camp.
a summer camp. Exactly.
I get you. Okay, cool. So he's following in, like Jason's footsteps. Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm guessing that one of them has his necklace, and he's looking for it again.
So he's always after this one necklace. That's what drives this guy?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then the second trailer is the new Faces of Death.
Yeah, which looks pretty cool and
Yeah.
creepy. Mhm.
Yeah, the practical effects look like they're gonna be pretty cool. It's based off like an original series from like the 1970s or something.
I think 78.
78, yeah, the late 70s, and it's basically just like a bunch of snuff films put together. Hence Faces of Death. Yeah, I mean I haven't like seen the original series, but I probably will give it a watch. Kind of sounds like something on my alley. I won't lie. But Tom, you were talking about this earlier, and how the first couple of ones are like pretty controversial because they show like real deaths.
Yeah, at least that's the rumor. I don't think that was ever like outright confirmed. So it could also be, viral marketing. Like how they said the Blair Witch Project was real.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, but I feel like I've heard that little bit of information as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yeah, like I was saying, like they put in like military footage of like people dying and stuff like that.
The 70s was kind of looser
Yeah,
when
Yeah.
it
for sure.
came to stuff.
Mm-hmm. So this one's not going to have any actual footage of death.
No,
Like, no doubt.
definitely not.
But it's got Barbie Ferreira.
Ferreira.
I still can't ever pronounce that.
Yeah. And I mean, the last thing we saw her in was
Nope.
Yeah, but this looks creepy. There was like a killer in a white, like a morph suit looked like, and then this weird white mask. And he has red eyes underneath it, too.
Yeah, and the red eyes looked like real.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it was like a white mask on like something real and creepy underneath was like...
super striking, creepy imagery. One thing I really liked about this trailer is they have the title card, and then it keeps going and shows you flashes of like someone's head opened up and more horrible things. These like
nice.
clips of snuff films where it's like, no, the trailer's not even done yet. We still have some more to show you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this movie solely for the practical effects. I don't care if the story's kind of bad or the acting's kind of bad. I just want to see it for the cool effects, which I think they will bring.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Okay, that wraps it up for horror news then. So we should get into the actual topic of the episode, which for this week is lycanthropes, werewolves. We're going to be talking about our favorite werewolf media and discussing things like the lore, the looks of the werewolves, and behind-the-scenes info as well, how they accomplish the various werewolves. And who should get started first? Big shrug? Okay, I'm going to start, all right?
All right.
We'll go with one of the most iconic werewolf movies of all time, which is An American Werewolf in London, 1981's American Werewolf in London, which was directed by John Landis. It stars David Naughton, and I love this movie, you guys.
It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Word. Yeah, it is incredible. It's funny. It's sad. Like, somehow it balances the tones of being, like, hilarious sometimes, like slapstick British humor, with also being genuinely scary and heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's a fully rounded movie. Like, it has
100%.
Everything.
Also, there's just, like, an amazingly realized werewolf. What I think is a really unique-looking werewolf in the Kessler Wolf.
And one of the best transformation scenes that I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I think to begin with, I'd just give a quick, like, synopsis of this movie for anyone who hasn't seen it. Also, spoiler warning, we will probably be spoiling the entirety of this movie, if not just more of, like, the key scenes. So, this movie, like I mentioned, it stars David Naughton as David Kessler, and he's traveling around with his friend Jack Goodman, who's played by Griffin Dunn. They're two American college students, and they're going through a trip through... It's somewhere in Britain, and it's somewhere in, like, the moors area. Yes. So, like, they're hitchhiking. They start out in a cart of sheep, and then they get off and go for a quick walk. End up at this creepy old bar.
The slaughtered lamb.
The slaughtered lamb, yeah. With this group of people who believe in the werewolf, but they kind of do a faux pas and they get kicked out. So when they're wandering on the moors, they're attacked by the werewolf. David's friend is eviscerated, where David is just scratched. Winds up in the hospital, recovers, and then he moves in with this pretty nurse who's been like helping him get better, and things are actually starting to look up for him. But then his friend Jack starts to appear as a zombie that only he can see, and he's informing him that pretty soon he's going to turn into a werewolf.
And then he needs to kill himself.
Yeah.
So this one's also got some pretty dark themes, honestly.
That caught me off guard.
It really does, yeah. And that's some stuff I love that this movie does about the werewolf lore. Something I don't think I've seen in any other movie is the souls of the people that the werewolf kills are stuck in limbo. Like, have you guys ever seen anything like that in a werewolf movie?
No.
Not really, no.
It made it way more horrifying. Like, it made it scarier. It's like you don't just die, you're trapped.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just seeing, like, his friend
like
in
degrade?
the state of when he died, and just slowly, like, rot and get more disgusting and disturbing.
But Jack is popping up, and he gets more and more disgusting and degraded as the film goes, but he's warning David that soon enough he's going to transform into a werewolf, which he does.
Yeah, and I also like the, like, build up to it.
Yeah, it's most of the movie, really. Like, you spend a lot of the time just developing this relationship between David and Alex. Alex is the nurse that he goes to live with, and it's a really sweet relationship. Like,
there's some good romance in it, for sure.
And even when he's explaining to her, like, I'm seeing my dead friend, she's like, I find you terribly attractive right now.
It's okay.
You know? Yeah, she's a little funny. And speaking of werewolf lore as well, so David Kessler at one point tells her, like, he references the original Wolfman movie, where the Wolfman was killed by his father, and David thinks that a werewolf can only be killed by someone who truly loves them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, like an interesting spin on the lore, which maybe you can, like, extrapolate from the Wolfman. I don't know if that's, like, actually in the story or not. And I also don't know if it's even, like, true in this version. I think that, Devin, you haven't quite seen to the end, right?
Not to the end yet.
Do you mind if we spoil when we get there? Okay.
No.
Because that will come back in the end as well. Alex's involvement in what eventually undoes the werewolf. But the werewolf lore is interesting too beyond that. They can be killed by regular bullets. There's no, like, silver bullets. I think that David at one point mentions silver bullets to Jack, and Jack's like, get serious.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, and I mean, in the opening scene, when they're being hunted by the werewolf, and then the townspeople or the people that were in the slaughtered lamb come out, and they kill the werewolf, they just kill the werewolf with, like, a regular gun.
Just
right?
a few bullets, yeah. So you can kill a werewolf with, you know, anything, I guess. That's just not part of the lore. Also, werewolves in this movie are quadrupedal, which I don't mind. It's rare, actually, I think, to find the four-legged werewolf.
Yeah, in Ginger Snaps, they're on four legs, too.
That's true, yeah. More like wolf than man.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Baker, he wanted it to be on two legs. Like, he wanted it to be a bipedal werewolf, more like Lon Chaney Jr. But John Landis, the director, just demanded four-legged, so Rick Baker had to pivot.
Yeah, and I do think that on four legs, it's a bit more realistic. Like, it seems like something that could be real and, you know, live on Earth.
Yeah, it's beast-like. It's a giant, big werewolf. One thing that I think is really cool about this werewolf, and just a cute little piece of trivia, is that Rick Baker based its look off of his Key's hound, Bosco.
Wow.
And I've seen pictures of this dog, and when you do stack them up between, you can kind of see the resemblance. Because Bosco the dog is, like, really fluffy. It's got, like, a big mane of hair. So I think that's one of the biggest inspirations. The way that they achieved the werewolf for this as well, they tried a couple different ways. They started with a dog in a werewolf suit, which did not work.
No.
Yeah, it's like, you remember they used to do this back in the day, like in Alien 3, they tried dressing a dog up like a xenomorph to
Has
run
this
around.
ever actually worked, though?
I don't think
have
so.
They ever used it in a film?
I think that filmmakers were just kept throwing it at the screen, like, come on, the dogs can do it.
Yeah.
They can't.
The dogs can't do it.
They can't do it, no. But the way that they actually achieved the werewolf is they call it the wheelbarrow method. So they had a trained dancer who's in the werewolf suit. I couldn't find the name as well. I looked a little bit. But they had them with their legs on a rolling cart. So it's their real, arms as the dog's forelegs, or the werewolf's forelegs. And then the hind legs are fake legs that a puppeteer who's at least on the cart or rolling the cart is puppeteering back and forth. So you kind of see this, like, only once in a little while. They try not to show the werewolf too much, like in the movie. I know that Landis really didn't want the werewolf to be shown much.
And that really caught me off guard. I know I say that a lot, but I was like, where's this wolf?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that is the most effective way to do a werewolf film.
I agree.
When you see it too much, it's like, oh, okay, this is a,
person in a costume. Yeah,
like,
it's fake. Yes.
I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Cursed.
No.
With Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg. It's like an early 2000s werewolf film.
Ooh, cool.
Anyways, it's cool. It's a cool film, but they show the werewolf so much, and it becomes, like, comedic.
Okay, you lose, like, all of your terror about it. Yeah,
exactly.
I get that. Yeah, so Landis's favorite shot in the movie is in the subway sequence. Might also be my favorite shot.
I love the subways.
It's an incredible
Really good.
sequence. When you have that, the most British man in the world, he's, like, on the escalator, headed up, and you're shooting down from the top of the escalator, you just see the wolf step into frame. Maybe you see like the first quarter of its body, and then it cuts away. Or no, I think it actually cuts to like a POV shot of the werewolf killing him.
That man really was the most British man.
He really was. His reaction was so British.
It was. He's like, I will call the bobbies on you.
I'll have you know.
Says to a werewolf.
So good. So, before this whole subway sequence, though, the werewolf has to break its chains and get out in the world. So that brings us to the transformation scene. Probably the most iconic werewolf transformation.
And Bad Moon
All
Rising's playing
that
all
made
the
me
while.
happy.
I can't listen to that song and not think of this transformation scene now.
This movie does have an amazing soundtrack. They use Blue Moon 3 different times.
Yeah.
In a bunch of different like contexts and to different effects. I think that it's hilarious as the ending song, which we'll talk about later probably. Apparently, they wanted to use Moonshadow, the Cat Stevens song, but Cat Stevens believes in werewolves. And legitimately, and was not down for it to be used in a werewolf movie.
Like he would be cursed or something if he used it?
Yeah. Cat Stevens, odd guy, I think.
I can get behind that.
Pretty interesting, right? Yeah. Wow. So back to the transformation scene. I wanted to highlight Rick Baker again. So Rick Baker, who did the werewolf effects for this movie, he won the Oscar, the very first Oscar for Best Makeup. Which is awesome, right? I think that they might have invented it for this movie. That's, just speculation. Baker is, he's amazing. He's a genius. Yeah. The methods that they use to get this transformation done are insane. There's a great 40-minute documentary, which I think is incredible. This transformation scene they shot over 6 10-hour days. Yeah. They would only get 1 or 2 shots done per day.
I would lose my mind.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense. I've seen some of the behind the scenes for this scene, and I mean, even just the fingers alone, they had to build these mechanical extender things.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
and the haunches.
It's all incredible stuff. So this takes place in an apartment, Alex's apartment, actually, when David first transforms, which was a set that they built 4 feet off the ground. David Naughton. He would prep for 4 to 5 hours before getting on set, so arriving at 5 a.m. And one thing that I love about this sequence is that it's painful.
You feel it.
You do. Yeah, every bit of his body changing is horrifying for him. Landis didn't want it to be like Lon Chaney Jr. sitting in a chair and just having the transformation happen. He wanted it to be active and painful, and that's what he asked Rick Baker to achieve for him.
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, if transforming into a werewolf was a real thing, it would be so painful.
It would hurt.
Totally.
It would hurt.
So it makes sense.
Yeah. One of I think that he might be in the most pain during his hand transformation.
Yeah.
When his hand stretches and you see it happen
and
on
he's
screen.
Just
oh yeah, not having a good time. So they called that the Change-O hand, which I thought was really cute. Any piece that they would make that would transform, they called it a Change-O head or a Change-O hand, which I thought was cute. The way that they did it is they would have, it's a pretty simple mechanism actually. They said that they would have 2 syringes attached on either side of a plastic tube. One of them with the plunger out, one of them with the plunger in. So you would have a device to push 4 plungers at once, which would push the other 4 on the opposite side out. And that's how you get the displacement of air that then stretches the latex hand. Wow.
That's cool.
Pretty interesting.
Special effects makeup, guys.
It's impressive. Yeah, just the hairs moving.
Oh, yeah. So the hair is really interesting. Apparently that was done just pretty easily. They just had a strip of fake skin that they shoot at an extreme close-up, and they had a bunch of hair threaded through it, and then they just pulled all of the hair out from underneath, and then you just play that in reverse. It looks like hair is pushing out.
That's reverse comes in handy.
It does.
I'll tell you what.
Sometimes just push backwards.
Yeah.
Also, just back to the Change-O parts. all of these Changeo parts, they were made from urethane, which was a new product at that time. And that is used in like all kinds of SFX makeup nowadays. Yeah, like anybody in SFX makeup would recognize that product, which didn't exist just like a couple years before this movie came out.
Yeah, I just recently took a makeup course like a couple weeks ago, and the teacher was talking about that, actually.
Nice. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so also about the set being built 4 feet off the ground, there's this great moment when you get the full look at the body. He's lying on his back, and it's very long and spindly, and his legs are kind of twitching back and forth, and that's David Naughton. It's his head and shoulders, or his arms, and he's underneath the floor. Kind of like glued into the floor there. Well, there are puppeteers, lifting the knees and the feet and kicking them around. So probably a bit of a hellish day for him, because he has to, be under there for the 10-hour days. Yeah. So I know that he didn't have the best time, unfortunately.
The outcome, I believe, was worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, like, this is such an iconic movie. Iconic ending as well. It all culminates in that big kerfuffle in Piccadilly Square. And then Alex comes by, and the Kessler wolf has been like cornered down an alley. She approaches, she somehow gets ahead of all of these police snipers, and she tries to speak to the Kessler wolf. And this is where I think it comes back that a werewolf can only be killed by someone that loves them. Because she, I think, gets him to drop his guard, and then the police shoot him. How do you guys interpret that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's almost saying that, like, even though he's turned into a werewolf, he's still, like, conscious somehow.
Yeah, you see a little bit of the humanity.
Yeah. And they don't, I feel like in most werewolf films, they don't do that.
Yeah, they're just full beast mode.
They're just like, the human side of you is just like blacked out.
Exactly, yeah. But there's like a slight bit of recognition, and I think the eyebrows go a little sad for a second there. And then he gets shot, transforms back into David Kessler. Alex is very upset. And then it just smash cuts to the credits with Blue Moon in like the doo-wop version. So it's a bunch of like bom-ba-da-bom-ba-dom-ba-dom-bom, and it's crazy funny. Like that makes me laugh every time.
And that's all.
That's all. Yeah. It's such like a depressing note to end it on, but then the song reminds you that it's a comedy as well.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how life is.
They also subscribe to like the old way of ending a horror movie, back from like the old Universal monster movies and Hammer movies, that as soon as the monster dies, the movie's over. There's no reason to continue the movie from there. Yeah. They just have a hard cut. And you see that also in like The Fly as well too, a movie that's based on a 50s movie. So like, I think that that's an interesting style of ending a monster movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, what more could they have shown? Like,
exactly.
Did you feel like, I missed out on this part of the
No.
plot?
It's one of my favorite movie endings, like genuinely, just because it's hilarious. Like, it's just such a weird cut. But again, the movie has this weird bonkers personality. Just before we move on, I also wanted to mention the wolf howl, which I thought is really interesting in this movie. Probably my favorite, like, werewolf howl. And I learned that it's a regular wolf's howl mixed in with an elephant played backwards.
Backwards again,
heard
reverse.
Yeah.
Once you like hear it, knowing that, you can hear like the elephantine note to it. Yeah. So that was very interesting to learn.
I have a question for
what's up?
you. In this film, what was the most like effective werewolf scene for you?
Ooh. I'm going to say it would be the transformation sequence. Like, I love that. But I am also a big fan of the Nazi werewolf dream.
Yes! Yeah. You didn't mention that, but I wanted to talk about that.
Which is pretty wild and comes out of nowhere. Like, again, talking about this film's weird personality, what the hell is that?
Like, is it in reference to something?
So, like, Landis wrote it, and in the script he just wrote Nazi demons. And then it was Rick Baker that just went, well, werewolves, I guess, and turned them into Nazi werewolves.
Course.
It's so weird. And then there's like the double dream fake out.
I love that. I love the double dream fake out and the guy behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's so silly. Oh man. I also am a really big fan of the dream sequences, because you see David like running through the woods at one point, which is very cool. And then after one of these dream sequences, when he's like eating a deer, I think, Alex comes to wake him up, and then his eyes open and he's in like this weird makeup, like his face is white and he's got sharp teeth.
And yellow eyes.
Yeah, and it's like a good jump scare too.
Oh, that's the scene that got me as a kid.
It gets
I almost
me good.
wanted to turn it off after that.
No, that's a really effective scare. They called that his opera makeup, which I thought was funny.
Opera?
Yeah. I guess just because it's like the white paint.
Oh,
yeah.
I think that the opening scene of the film is my favorite.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
When, they're first, like,
And the
get
werewolf
kicked
stalking
out.
them.
Yeah, and they're kind of, like, whispering to each other,
Yeah.
and they're both, like, petrified
Yeah.
and don't know where it's coming from.
That's when the howl really shines, too.
Yes.
Because they don't know what it is at that point. And that howl is so uncanny. And the jump scare as well. When, David thinks everything's fine, goes to help Jack up, and then gets eaten.
Yeah.
Pretty terrifying.
And then the one line that I really like is when he's like, Jack, I didn't mean to call you Meatloaf.
Just when he's transforming,
Yeah.
Even in that moment, it's still funny. There's just some great comedy in this. Yeah. What an amazing movie. Just like an S-tier movie for me.
There's no, like, faults to it.
Yeah. Did I steal this one from you? Would you have talked about this one if I hadn't called it, I guess?
100%.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but that's great because then I get to talk about my pick.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Which is Dog Soldiers from 2002.
Yeah.
It is directed by Neil Marshall, who also directed The Descent.
I thought I recognized that name.
That makes sense. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, The Descent was done in 2005. Both films are rated 18A.
Ooh,
Neil
there is
Marshall
some crazy gore in
likes
this.
to put lots of gore in his
Yeah.
films, which I will get into. Yeah, the tagline for this film is 6 soldiers, full moon, no chance.
Yeah, that's accurate.
This film also has like a pretty cool cast. It has Liam Cunningham as Ryan, who's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think his name is Davos.
I think so.
There's so many characters in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I could easily be wrong. He's the guy who he's nice and he
nice.
looks after the
little girl.
The little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
That guy.
And then Kevin McKidd is also in it, who is kind of like the main soldier. His name's Cooper.
Mr. Eyebrows.
Yes, he's in Trainspotting.
Oh,
As
okay.
Tommy.
Yeah,
The guy that
yes.
dies.
Thought I recognized him. Oh, you
Yeah.
looked a lot younger in Trainspotting. Oh, I guess Trainspotting was mid-90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, and then it also has Emma Cleesby. I think that's how you say her name. She is basically the only woman in the film, Megan. And then we also have Sean Pertwee, who is kind of like the main sergeant, I guess.
I like that character a lot.
Yeah, Welsh.
Yes,
I
and I really
is.
like the performance too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he's a very believable character. He's also very like a sweet guy. He's always looking at a picture of his wife.
His wife, yeah.
Yeah.
Telling the boys a little story before they go to bed.
Yes. Yeah, and he is in Event Horizon.
Okay.
I haven't seen that yet.
That's probably where I recognize him from.
And then I just want to get a little bit into the werewolf team, the team behind building the werewolves for this film. So first off, we have the costume designer. His name is Uli Simon.
I thought his name was Uli, which would be amazing.
That would be amazing. And the special effects makeup director is Bob Keane.
I know
And
that
he
name.
has a list of credits for makeup. Let me tell you. Some of these credits include Hellraiser,
Wow.
Candyman,
Nice.
and Nightbreed. And then another FX makeup artist is Matthew O'Toole, and he did makeup for The Hobbits and Clash
alright.
of the Titans.
Nice.
Whoa.
That's cool.
So far, a lot of cool people with a lot of, like, creature film credits.
Yeah, they've gone on to do cool things. I mean, their work on these werewolves is incredible. These are some of, like, the most realistic and well-realized werewolves I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I'll give a brief synopsis of this film.
Please.
It is a routine military exercise turns into a nightmare in the Scottish wilderness.
Yeah. It's a really simple premise, but, like, I don't think it needs to be any more complicated.
It's very effective.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, as soon as I realized what the movie was, because I went into this completely blind, I'm just like, okay, soldiers versus werewolves. Cool.
And that's basically it.
Yeah, I'm down for it. Why not?
Yeah, so the film opens with a couple camping, and they're in their tent, and we see the, like, zipper on the tent opening, and they're both just, like, staring at it, and then all of a sudden we see some werewolf hands, like, come through, which, note, the werewolf hands in this film,
They're so good.
chef's kiss. I love them
Scary
so
looking.
much. Like, the claws are so sharp looking, and then we hear this amazing wolf howl in front of, like, a full moon, and you're like, okay, I'm in for a fucking werewolf movie.
Yeah, it gets to the point so quickly, so it's like, alright, this is what I'm watching.
There's some really cool, like, black and white POV shots from the werewolf's perspective that show up a lot in the film, and it just, like, has the werewolf, like, breathing, and, like, you see, like, what the wolf is seeing in black and white, which I think is really interesting. So we first actually see a werewolf about 30 minutes into the film, which don't you normally say that, like, the action in a horror movie starts at 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's called the first act turn.
I guess so, yeah. And it's kind of just, like, quick glimpses of this, like, tall, brown, gray creature. There's also some really cool, like, silhouetted shots of it running through the forest.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Very, like, fast cuts, and, like, you know, you're just kind of seeing glimpses of its, like, side profile.
Yeah, it made me wonder if they didn't have big budget for this movie, or if the effects weren't very good at the start. But no, it's just what we were talking about earlier, that you want to tease your monster and use them sparingly. Like, they have great effects. They just know that they can hold it back.
And they do show it eventually, like, a lot, but I really like this, like, just getting quick glimpses of it and, like, you know, not showing it too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the werewolves here were very cute because they look a lot like dogs.
They do.
You know, so I'm like, I like this design because
it's
it's
doggiest
exactly.
werewolves
They have
I've ever
very
seen.
realistic wolf heads.
Yeah, it's very cute, you know? I'm like, it's a wolf. But
It's
then
so cute.
it's a man's body.
They're also, like, standing on their hind legs, and they're, like, 10 feet tall.
Which I don't
Yeah,
like.
you know what I didn't see is if, like, their legs are bending the opposite
the
direction.
back. Yeah.
I think they were.
They were. Okay, cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Something I really like about this film is the contrast of the 16mm film, the, like, film scratches and damage and, like, very, like, 70s, 80s horror movie look versus, like, the early 2000s practical effects.
Yeah,
I think
for
it
sure.
makes for a very, like, visually appealing film.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's also a lot of very cool, like, backlit, foggy shots of the werewolves in the forest.
Yeah.
As they're kind of, like, creeping over to the house that the soldiers are camping out in. So then we kind of get into, like, the first, like, big battle with the werewolves. And all of our, like, main characters are in this house. And, yeah, the werewolves are coming for them. They know they're in this house. I feel like this is, like, the best environment that a film has created for werewolves.
To support the werewolves, yeah.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
One specific scene where I think a werewolf is, like, particularly menacing is once they get into the house, they decide to put the sergeant up in this bed, up in like the top floor of the house. But yeah, as the werewolves find the house and they're kind of creeping into the house, finding their way in, one of the werewolves is like standing on its hind legs over the bed. I don't know if you guys remember this scene, but it's like the first real shot that we fully see a werewolf. Yeah, you just see like this huge, it looks like he's like 10 foot tall, just like classic big pointy ears. I think, Tom, you mentioned this before we started the podcast, but the body is very like proportional to like
100%.
the head and everything, which I think makes it like pretty realistic.
It looks like a real creature.
It does, very real wolf head. And then they've got like these huge mouths with really big, like menacing fangs.
Yeah, it's definitely more wolf than man.
So they form a plan to hotwire a car that's in like a barn or something.
Yeah, right.
So a soldier goes in to find that a werewolf is eating one of his mates in this barn.
That gore is so good.
This scene was so cool.
He rips his head off.
He rips his head off and like throws it onto the hood of the truck, and the head is like bobbling around on the hood of the car for like a while. And the soldier like in the car tries to like drive away, but the werewolf has gotten into the car.
Oh yeah, he totally has.
And then kind of just like have this shot from like outside
right
of the
behind
car.
me, isn't he?
He's right behind me. You just see like this smoke breathing behind him.
Yeah, that was actually really clever. I like that a lot.
Again, it was like showing you that it was there without showing it.
Yeah.
Which I really like. It makes it more creepy.
Totally.
Yeah, but then it's like a shot from outside the car. You just kind of see the front window, but you don't see the wolf and the guy.
Yeah.
And then you hear them like scrapping and like fighting, and then you just see like a huge blood splatter on the front window, and I love
blood
that.
cannon going off.
So one of the men in the house turns into a werewolf.
Yeah, which one is it?
It's
Ryan.
Ryan.
It's Ryan, yeah.
Ryan,
Because Ryan survived his wounds by, turning into a werewolf. He heals fast. Back to the nails as well. They push him over a table, and then he scrapes his long, werewolf nails down the surface and leave big divots, then disappears under to finish his transformation.
Yeah, they're like black razors. Like,
super cool.
Yeah, and his eyes are all yellow.
Yeah. I guess one complaint that I have for this movie is that you don't really see too much of the werewolf transformation ever on screen. Like, the look is so solid, but I would love to see, like, the midway point, the transformations,
I agree. I would like to see that a little bit more. But yeah, that's kind of all we see, and then we just see him in full werewolf form. And one of the soldiers gets like a stick or something, a piece of wood, and he throws it and yells, "Fetch!"
Yeah. Bit of British humor. Yeah.
The wounded sergeant notices that he's healing, rapidly fast. Yeah, we see all his like scars around his stomach that have all like healed up, and his guts are magically inside him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he notices that he's healing, and then it's like, oh, he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, everybody figures out that if you get scratched, you'll turn.
Yep. So there's a bit of werewolf lore for you in this movie.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty like classic werewolf lore, like silver will kill them. Yeah, there isn't any crazy lore.
No, there's no, like, it's actually this. Everything you knew about werewolves is wrong. No, it's just...
Well, and basically Megan was kind of saying that, like, people don't really know too much about them. The people that do know that they're real.
Yeah.
They don't even know if silver bullets will kill them.
Yeah, exactly. There's still some mystique, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, the soldiers are pretty, like, helpless at this point, and they just try and blow up the werewolves as a last resort. Megan tells them that all the werewolves are in the barn, so they blow up the barn, and she reveals there were no werewolves in there, and she is a werewolf herself.
Yes, she is.
She's been part of the back the whole time, and she says she's a real bitch, a real one.
I guess we do get to see, like, partway transformation for her. We see like she's got the fangs and her eyes change color, I think.
Yeah.
And then shot in the head.
Another thing she says is, "It's that time of the month for me."
Which I feel.
I thought that was funny.
I like that.
And then, yeah, like you were saying before, a pack of werewolves emerges behind her.
It's
which
a cool
I think
shot.
it is a really cool shot. And they're all just kind of like looming,
Yeah.
like swaying with their claws about, which is kind of funny, but also menacing. Yeah, and then a soldier actually, because all the werewolves come into the house at this point.
Yeah.
And then a soldier gets into like a hand-to-hand combat fight with a werewolf.
Oh, that bit's sick.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's
He's
good.
really
He
like
holds his
giving
own.
it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the one thing that I noticed that I was like, is that what I saw? Is like while they're fighting, it looks like the werewolf like shoots a tooth.
Oh, no, it's that he punches him in the mouth so hard that a tooth flies out of his mouth and embeds itself in the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, like...
I missed that,
Okay.
and I thought he just shot
Shot
a
the tooth.
tooth out.
See, that would be a drastic deviation for the werewolf lore. They can just shoot their teeth out.
That's what I thought happened. But anyways, the soldiers at this point kind of just go sicko mode, and they all start like hand-to-hand combating the werewolves.
They do as best as they can do. At
Which
this
I
point.
love,
That's so
this little
funny.
montagey scene where they're all just like punching
Yeah.
the werewolves
Mhm.
like it's a boxing match. Yeah, and then the original soldier who first started like fighting him with his fists, the wolf unfortunately holds him up against the wall and is about to kill him. And the soldier says, "I hope I give you the shit,
Yeah.
you wimp." Which I love.
Yeah. It's a good way to go out.
And then there's this really cool scene where like the main soldier Cooper and the sergeant are in this closet hiding, and they have these glow sticks and they like throw them on the ground, and it's like
His bones.
revealing bones, and it's all like kind of this like blue green
They got
lit.
skeletons in their closet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they do. And then they
shoot
just
their
like
way through the
shoot.
floor.
Yeah, they shoot their way through the floor, which is really cool.
Someone turns on the gas main, I think, because they land in the kitchen.
They land in the kitchen, and then the sergeant is like, "It's my time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn into a werewolf.
Mhm.
I might as well just kill myself
Mm-hmm.
with all the werewolves in the house."
Yeah.
Which is a good plan. So he tells Cooper to go like down into the basement, I think
Yeah.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he like cuts the gas
Yeah,
line or
yeah.
whatever. And then all the werewolves come down, and they're
Mhm.
doing this, like, again, kind of, like, swaying.
Okay, I wasn't
like,
a big fan of that, to be honest. I don't really
It was
like
very,
their
like,
weird
goosebumps
werewolf
to me.
wiggles. Like, I don't know.
They have their claws up, and they're like,
It's a choice. It just kind of feels like idle animation.
It's like a Goosebumps episode. Yeah, it's a little campy, it's a little cheesy, but I liked it. I thought it was cute. And you kind of, like, it's pretty impressive to see, like, all the werewolves in one room, because
Totally.
imagine how long that makeup probably took.
Yeah, 100%.
And they all look great. They look great. They're doing
Yeah.
a silly little dance, but that's okay. And then we kind of get to the end of the film here, and the last soldier fights the last wolf, which is Ryan,
Yeah.
in the basement.
Yeah,
And
so
they're-
he's just been, like, hanging out with his tail between his legs for a little while, and then he pops up just to mess with Cooper at the very end.
And
yeah.
Cooper's like, "Oh, have you learned to lick your own balls yet?"
These guys
And
have
Ryan
so many
doesn't
good
like
insults.
Yeah, the British banter
Oh,
in
the
this
British
film.
banter. And it's right off the bat, too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, right from the beginning when they're like telling the stories and talking about
Yeah.
football
Yeah.
and whatever.
One of my favorite ones was Plunker.
Yes, Plunker.
They use it a few times, and I'm like, that's one I haven't even heard of. Feels made up for the movie.
It
Sure,
very
it's
well
real.
could be.
Yeah.
I want to see what it means.
But yeah, while Ryan in his werewolf form and Cooper are fighting, Ryan somehow gets like a knife or like the sword in between Cooper's teeth, and there's
Oh.
a very like squeaky noise that
yeah.
comes out, and I was like, ugh.
That bit was abrasive, yeah.
Yeah,
Really well done, but just like,
it was a
ouch.
little random, but
Mhm.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, eventually Cooper finds this, like, silver letter opener, I think. Maybe somebody, like, dropped it from upstairs.
I think so. Somebody brought it up earlier. Can't remember who, though.
Yeah, because, I mean, like Megan said, that family wouldn't have anything silver in the house.
Yeah.
True.
Because they're werewolves, obviously, so somebody else must have brought it. But yeah.
He's able to, like, kind of one-shot him with it, though, isn't he? He stabs him with it, doesn't he?
He stabs him right in the face and then kind of just, like, sizzles and falls over.
Yeah, so very effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, kind of like your pick, the movie just kind of ends.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do, is there?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember the ending scene, actually, earlier today. Because, like, I remember there being the tiniest little bit of footage after he kills Ryan. And do you even remember what it is? Is it him, like, emerging from the woods?
Yeah, I think it's just
out?
him kind of coming out of the house.
Okay.
And that's that.
That's it. Bomp-a-da-bomp-a-domp-a-domp-domp.
And we're done.
We're done. Good pick. And thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, I would have never have come across that movie, and I really liked it, so...
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, really.
It's a good one.
One I would totally recommend.
The environment that they set up alone... I think after rewatching it and, like, talking about it just now, like, one of my favorite things about this film is the environment that they set up for it. I don't think there's very many movies that set up their environment for the monsters the way this one does.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Are there any sequels?
Not that I know of.
Oh, really? That's kind of surprising.
A few little fun facts about the film is some of the corpses hanging around in the basement were originally created for and used in Event Horizon.
Oh, that's cool. Probably during, like, the scenes in Hell.
Yeah.
Or the crew, the original crew. Yeah.
Yeah, and then another fun fact, kind of more on the makeup side of things, is that there is very little CGI used in the movie because the people involved in the filming believed that CGI was being overused at the time. And that it would take viewers out of the movie because they would be focused on how the special effects looked rather than the story.
Good call.
Thus, the werewolves are animatronics and bodysuits with stilts.
Love it.
Animatronics. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the suggestion because I am going to watch that one again. I really, really liked it. So mine is Teen Wolf, and not Teen Wolf 1985 with Michael J. Fox, and not the movie of Teen Wolf that came out in 2022. It is the series, but not the entire series because we don't have
We're not gonna go
6
over
years
the
to
whole
go
show.
over something that is very repetitive. But yeah, I chose Teen Wolf. It came out in 2011 and was an MTV original. I know, right? It has very strong CW energy. You would think
Absolutely.
it would be the CW, but it was MTV when they were still on air and making actual television shows. It was at the time of Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl, right before Riverdale, and you can kind of feel all of those shows in it. When, I don't know what was up in that era, but the color for things were really like... Did you ever watch Misfits? Either of you?
No.
Okay.
I've seen a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
so it's like, you know when it's like so saturated that things are kind of almost grayscale?
Yeah.
But then there was still color, but everything's really grayed out, and yet still so much attention to color and lack thereof.
I liked it. It was nostalgic.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nostalgic, you're homesick from school kind of energy.
No, I felt that for sure.
Yeah.
Hemlock Grove.
I wish
Hemlock Grove.
Totally.
Yeah.
I wish that I'd watched this show when I was like a teenager,
Yeah.
a young teenager. I didn't even know why I missed it. I was a huge fan of Buffy, you know, and this would have been totally up my alley.
And the makeup team did work on Buffy.
Oh,
and
really?
all of
That's
those
cool.
shows. Yeah, they worked on a bunch of late 90s and early 2000s TV shows and movies, which is really exciting. So I got you guys to watch season 1, episode 1, and season 2, episode 11, and kind of for a reason. I will give backstory for the characters, how they get to where they're going, and all that jazz. I only really watched up to season 3 personally when the show was on.
Oh, really? You must have seen like less than half then.
Yeah, because I would catch it here and there, but then by that point I'd gone to university and I wasn't paying to watch TV. Okay?
I get you, yeah.
But I did then watch some of it here and there. I just watched it as I would, and then I'm like, wow, eventually my dad even said, like, the whole town's wolves now. What's happening? Like, everybody's supernatural. That's what happens if you have a supernatural TV show. Eventually, 90% of the population is going to be supernatural.
Of course, yeah.
The show was created by Jeff Davies. And it's important to note that a lot of the writers and creators for the show were queer, and you can really feel that throughout the show. There's a lot of queer characters even in the early seasons and later seasons. It's very much a 2011 representation. Everybody plays lacrosse in this town. You know? Think
ridiculous,
of it as like very much Teen Wolf walked so that heated rivalry could skate across that ice in every way, shape, and form. Yeah.
But lacrosse is not hockey. Lacrosse
is hockey. As somebody who played lacrosse growing up,
I mean, in terms of popularity.
Okay, you're right.
The
lacrosse
way that
far more neat.
what they do in this first episode, they quickly establish that football is a joke in this town.
Which is hilarious.
That's what they even say. They're
football's
like,
a joke.
Wait, is it Canadian?
No, which is interesting, right? Because you would think
lacrosse
it's an American show.
Kind of
it's our national
Canadian.
sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lacrosse.
But lacrosse is so intrinsic to this show.
It's so important.
It's like half of the intro.
It's lacrosse.
Yeah.
The show is lacrosse. Lacrosse, the supernatural TV show. So
hilarious.
Scott McHale and Stiles Stilinski are the two kind of main characters, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Scott is portrayed by Tyler Posey, and Stiles Stilinski is Dylan O'Brien, who doesn't appear in the last season because he was filming multiple Maze Runners. Very
good
busy
for
guy,
him.
right? But so Scott and Stiles are meant to be the nerdy, unpopular guys, and they're like very attractive people.
Yeah.
Because it's 2010s.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2010s. Everybody's really attractive, even the losery nerds. It's like, what is the school? But they're on the lacrosse team. They're not the best players, and
on the bench.
Exactly, on the bench. But within 5 minutes, Scott's becoming a werewolf, which I forgot. I rewatched it. I'm like, wow, they really jump into...
Yeah, they get straight to the point.
During the lacrosse
No,
game?
so at night, Stiles comes over. He just kind of pops into Scott's house, best friend. It's like, I'm in your house now. It's like there's a dead body in the woods, but only half a dead body. I wonder which half. Let's go find it. And they go out into the woods, and Scott is left to get attacked by a werewolf. And boom.
Yeah.
Now he becomes werewolf. And what I like about the werewolves in Teen Wolf are there are so many different types of werewolves that will get introduced. But Scott is, and so sorry, it's about to sound like I'm a part of the manosphere and this is about to be a bro podcast, but there's alphas, betas, and sigmas. And we're sponsored by, but it's a very classic like werewolf pack. Stuff like omegas, betas, sigmas. We're watching. I'm like, right. I can't watch this in the same context with the straight face anymore. But Scott is a beta wolf. He becomes a beta, right? But he doesn't know this.
Yep.
He doesn't even really know what's happening. But the transformation and makeup is pretty cool for the werewolves. It's very subtle. It's definitely what you were mentioning. It's kind of more like little snout, some fangs, eyes, but then sideburns. Everybody gets sideburns.
That's hilarious.
Okay, I think it's pretty silly looking, honestly. He's mostly a normal guy. He doesn't even get very hairy. No, it's just full mutton chops.
Yeah, mutton chop, pointy
sharp
ears,
teeth,
mutton chops. Like their noses are kind of scrunched. Think kind of like Klingon, if you will.
Yeah.
A little scrunched here.
Reminded me a bit of the vampires in Buffy.
Yeah.
Is it like Return to Silent Hill facial hair?
No, it's better.
No. Okay, it's better than that.
Anything's better.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is all practical, which is nice. And their ears are pointy, a little bit of hair. His hair gets slightly more stylized, if you will.
See, sexy werewolf.
Right. Yeah, I mean, kind of, because there are points in time with the transformation when it might just be their fangs, and then I'm like, and yet it still doesn't look like a vampire, you know, because it's very much canine.
Well, it's tops and bottoms,
yeah,
right?
Exactly, tops and bottoms. You're like, oh, that's the wolf. And then their eyes, each wolf kind of has a different color eyes, so his are yellow. And it's like, wolf. Yeah, no?
One thing that I really liked about this first episode, when he is slowly becoming a werewolf before he's actually done his full transformation, he no longer needs like his asthma inhaler.
Yeah.
And he can hear things from really far away.
Yeah.
And he's like more of a cool guy?
He becomes cooler.
He becomes cooler.
It reminded me so much of 2002 Spider-Man.
Yes, it is that energy.
The way that the
much
nerd dude, like gets these powers, and then he just is like, cool. I guess I can hear from really far away now. Why not? At least for a while.
For a while.
Scott doesn't even question it. For like longer than I wouldn't.
Yeah, longer than you should, but he's really like, okay, cool. And he does the lacrosse tryouts, and obviously he's super good.
He's doing like gymnastics.
Yeah, he does literally. There are 3 other dudes, and he just flips over 3 dudes and shoots, and the coach is like, yeah, that's amazing. And there's this new girl in town that Scott has a crush on. Her name is Allison Argent, which, if you understand French, her last name is Silver. Ooh, I wonder what this could mean.
Look at that.
So, of course, naturally, Allison's family are werewolf hunters, which is important to remember. And she has an aunt named Kate, which is important to remember. And
Van Helsing moment.
Allison doesn't know her family are wolf hunters, which I think is kind of cool. The reason why the wolf hunters even got called into town is because of this house fire that occurred, and it affected this guy named Derek. And it turns out Derek is also a beta werewolf.
Oh yeah, Derek, played by Tyler
Hoechlin.
Hoechlin.
Tyler Hoechlin.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
So you said there's like betas, alphas.
Yes.
Do they very much look like the alpha werewolves are big?
Oh,
and
Emily, I
muscular?
can't wait to tell you what the alpha looks like. I
Oh,
can't. And then there's even, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm holding my tongue because I got to tell you later on about this crazy werewolf that comes. But yeah, so all of Derek's family, they were all wolves. His whole family is now dead. His sister's is the body that was found in the woods, but she had something on her, kind of like a sigil, and in that sigil was wolfsbane. So when you remove it, it's revealed the dead girl is actually a werewolf. So she looks like a dog. You remove it, boom, it's a girl. You put it back, it looks like a dog. You remove the wolfsbane, it's a girl. Very exciting stuff. That was Derek's sister. His uncle is also dying in the hospital, all burnt to a crisp. But there has been this beast that's been going around terrorizing and killing so many people throughout the town. And Allison's dad is a very gnarly werewolf hunter, but a very nice person and follows the code.
Oh, yeah.
So him and the aunt are kind of like, no, he's actually, sorry, scratch that. Gnarly person, but as a good wolf hunter, if you will, follows the rules.
Yeah, I saw that in the season 2 episode.
Yeah.
That Allison, maybe Scott does her dirty at some point.
Yeah.
Because she's on the side of the werewolf hunters.
Exactly.
At that point. And she's even a bit more bloodthirsty.
Yes,
than her
exactly. And the women in the werewolf hunting family it's a matriarchal society, so they listen to the women.
That's nice.
Right? Yeah, it's really interesting because they're like, women are better decision makers. Straight up, that is the reasoning. I'm like, wow, great. I love that.
So real.
However, the aunt is unhinged, and also it's like, wow, these guys are so attractive. It's like, lady, you're 30-something. These are 17-year-old boys. No. So she's a bad person. And she does die in season 1. And then it is revealed that the beast that has been going around killing everyone is Peter, the man who is dying in the hospital. Why? Because he's the alpha. And only the alphas are the ones that can turn other werewolves. Betas can't really do that. And his wolf design is so cool. Because, of course, we know everybody else is going to be kind of mutton chopped. They have their own eye color.
More man than wolf.
Yeah, more man than wolf. More like, man, interesting face, man. Where this guy, this wolf, it walks on all 4s. Yeah, it's big haunches, big old back with tufty hair, red eyes, blowing out the nice steam, pointy ears, and it can also go up on its hind legs, and it's humongous. Like, you know, kangaroos, how they're actually terrifying. It's kind of like that, and I want to show you what it looks like, Emily, so you can see.
Is it CGI?
So it's a mixture of practical and CGI.
Oh. I wonder if you might know this, if they did like the head practical, body CG.
That's what I would guess.
Yeah.
That's usually the best way to do it. If something's eyes are practical, I think you connect with it better, and you don't care so much about like if it's hind legs.
Yeah, you see, so
real.
this is like him, but then this is also him, which obviously that body is not practical.
It's a pretty good looking werewolf.
It's a very, very nice. So this is
face looks like it's practical, but then the eyes look like they've added CGI.
Yeah, I think they've
enhancements
enhanced the eyes, and you also see him in like just straight up dog form as well.
Cool.
Dog form, and so the lore is Peter ends up dying at the end of the season, but does anybody really die in a 2010 supernatural show? You know what I mean?
No.
Remember that. This guy's coming back
Do we
later
get
on.
zombie werewolf?
More like he becomes a teenage boy and gets Lydia to like kiss him and then revises. It gets crazy and weird. And then he keeps coming back. No, it gets weird. And then Jackson Whitmore, who's kind of the popular bully guy, once he realizes that Scott's actually a werewolf, wants to become a werewolf. And this is important to remember because he ends up getting bit by Derek. He gets like a scratch, but he's not quite taking to the werewolf transformation the same way. Allison's aunt gets killed. Kate ends up dying. Kate comes back later, much later. She becomes a werejaguar. Okay, guys?
Whoa! You had me up until werewolf jaguar. I'm sorry.
I'm okay with the concept of a werejaguar. There's one in the Hellboy comics.
Yeah, so she becomes a werejaguar, but keep in mind this lady's been dead, then she comes back, and now she's a werejaguar in like season 4 or 5, okay? I just had to let you know, Emily. And then, but yeah, season 2, there's this creature that's killing a bunch of folks, and it's like, okay, well, it can't be Peter, because Peter is allegedly dead. Jokes, he's now a teenage boy. And then they all have their arcs throughout the season up until episode 11, but what we're talking about now is this crazy creature that they realize is called the Kanima. And the Kanima...
I'll show you, Emily.
Yeah. You gotta see what the Kanima looks like, Emily, and then I'm gonna tell you something about the Kanima, and you're not gonna believe me.
Uh-oh.
It's with a K.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna believe that. Here you are.
So that's the Kanima.
It reminds me a bit of a cave crawler from The Descent, but more lizardy.
Yeah, exactly. Very lizardy.
Yeah.
And unlike
very reptilian.
Right? The Kanima is ruled by a master, and it seeks to follow only its master. And Jackson thinks he has been transforming into a werewolf and all this, and everybody's like, no, bro, we haven't seen you out there. He films himself at night. Nothing. Turns out the footage has been clipped. Boom. Jackson's the Kanima. Turns out the Kanima is actually the werewolf mutation gone wrong. It's the werewolf virus gone wrong because the person has some stuff that they haven't dealt with in their life, and once they do...
Is it lizard DNA?
Right, exactly. And once they do come and realize that, and they can never know that they are in their Kanima form, so they have to realize at some loophole point that it would make sense.
You better deal with your lizard DNA.
Right? So that's...
May we all find the strength to deal with our lizard DNA.
So when I found out that was still technically a werewolf, I'm like, no way, that lizard is a werewolf? That's crazy.
No way, that lizard is a werewolf?
Did you write to MTV?
I was like, I emailed them, mtv.com. I don't believe you for a second.
That is the quote of the episode. No way, that werewolf's a lizard?
No way, I don't believe it. But yeah, so that lizard is a werewolf, which I just thought was one of the more... I'm sorry, you guys have great werewolf designs, but that's the most unique werewolf you will ever see. A lizard, okay? And in its mutated form, when it advances to the next level, like a Pokemon, it gets wings and it flies around.
That's pretty cool.
Wait.
Yeah.
A lizard werewolf with wings.
Once it goes to the next level.
Oh.
But Jackson kills himself.
Yeah.
Using the Kanima venom.
Yeah.
Is that when he then mutates into the Kanima with wings?
No, he never becomes that.
Okay, so he's dead.
They stopped that.
Okay.
He becomes a werewolf.
Everybody becomes a werewolf.
And then he
deals with his lizard DNA, and he's able to become a werewolf.
And I believe
that's what you do.
Good for you, man.
He leaves the show, and then I think comes back either in the last season or for the movie.
Gotcha.
And then in season 3, we're introduced to the Alpha Pack. Have you ever heard of a pack of alphas, guys? Right? So
they probably have a podcast.
Right. Welcome to the Alpha Pack, and they all overtalk each other. Yeah.
Their sponsor is AG1.
Legit.
We get it.
Gosh. So yeah, the Alpha Pack comes into town, and I won't go too much into it. I just want to talk about Deucalion, the wolf design of Deucalion. So Deucalion, already that's a crazy name. He belongs in the underworld. He is and I kid you not, self-proclaimed demon wolf. Yes, the demon wolf, an ancient demon wolf, and he is the most powerful. And I'm going to have to look at Deucalion's design.
It's okay, I've already looked it up.
Okay, to describe it properly.
Oh, I like this.
Yes.
That's cool. That looks like old school monster
Yes.
makeup.
Looks like out of of a comic book, actually.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. I like his under fangs and those red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like deep socketed eyes as well. Oh yeah, and then he also has like the classic Werewolf's Widow's Peak.
Yes.
That I enjoy too.
And he looks very different than how Deucalion actually looks.
And the bloody mutton chops, of course.
Oh.
Yes. And then there's this other one when Peter comes back as the Beast, but Beast 2.0.
Whoa, that's a lot of teeth.
It's kind of like a pit bull head with a log.
Kind of looks like
Yeah.
Zool.
I could see it, yeah.
Later on, there's this girl named Mila who comes, and her mom, you're gonna hate this, Emily. Oh, you're gonna love it.
What's next?
She takes after her mother's genes, not her father's genes. Her father was a werewolf. Her
Lizard
mother,
jeans?
nope,
Okay.
were-coyote.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah. Yep, so the
The
were-coyotes and
were-coyotes.
were-jaguars do look different than the werewolves. Their designs are different.
There's so many things.
Too
Yeah.
many things. Maybe. I don't know how well
The
they roll it
were-coyote
all
is
out.
just less hairy.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Reminds me of,
were-jaguar, I
like-
think, is more snouty.
That reminds me of like Fenrir Greyback from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
a cool
It's a good
Totally.
design, but
Yeah.
it's like minimalist werewolf. All
Yeah,
you need
it's-
is a little bit of hair
half man.
and some sharp teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, and then were-jaguar, she just has like a couple more spots, a bit more eyeshadow, honestly.
Oh.
She got some
Alright,
spots, though, but
nice,
Kind of slay.
Yeah. And it's funny because she was a werewolf hunter, now she's a were-jaguar.
Uh-oh.
And I think that's everybody who gets powers, all the different types of wolves and coyotes.
So, out of all these mythical beings and creatures, specifically out of all the werewolves,
Yeah.
which is your favorite?
You know, it's hard to say because I think it's funny. Things are consistent and not consistent. Like, sometimes they just run really fast on their hind legs as people, and then before they've transformed, sometimes, like in full-on human form, you, Emily, running on all fours really fast, and I love it when it does
With
stuff
mutton
like
chops.
no, without the mutton chops. This is like straight up just you normally, and they're running like this,
That's
and
awesome.
then they'll transform when they're at like the cliff and go Awoo! And I'm like,
Okay.
Silly
love
and goofy and fun.
yeah, but like, gosh, out of all of them, since it is Teen Wolf, it's like just when you're a classic wolf, you're the wolf. That's why I'm watching the show. I
Mutton
watched
chop
this
wolf.
Like, I personally wouldn't want mutton chops, but what I will say I liked is they committed. Even the girl Erica, she had mutton chops. Like,
Wait, the girls have mutton chops?
yeah, everyone gets mutton chops. You're a
Amazing.
werewolf.
No.
You all get mutton chops.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm like, at least it was consistent that way. Where jaguars and where coyotes don't have mutton chops. But if you're a girl werewolf, you're getting mutton chops. I'm like, consistent.
Consistently silly. It's
Yeah.
like commit to the bit.
And I like how they have a lot of lore in this. They have time for lore. There's like a bestiary book,
Right.
wolfsbane herbs. So it does use just a lot of classic werewolf
Isms.
mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really invent anything new other than an alpha pack, which is insane and a nightmare.
And a werewolf lizard.
Yeah, and the Canema. That like they take creative liberties for show. But yeah, MTV. If ever you're feeling like you need a nostalgic, silly, and you have I don't know, 120 years of your life to spend, I do recommend. And yeah, that's my Wolfie pick.
All right, you guys. It is now time for our next segment, which is called Who, What, Watch, Read, When, Where. Alternate title, What We Consume, but we're still kind of... This is the segment of the show where we just talk about things in the horror genre that we're watching or reading or going to watch and read. I'm going to start with the movie Bones, which I watched the other day. So also, correction, last week I said that it was directed by Rusty Cundiff, but it's actually directed by Ernest Dickerson. This is a really solid movie.
The Snoop Dogg one?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Snoop Dogg plays Jimmy Bones, who was old-style gangster, ran the numbers in a neighborhood. Then he's betrayed by everyone in his life and killed. And 20-ish years later, he returns as a vengeful spirit.
Cool.
So it's got a great setting, really great 70s flashbacks, good costume design, some good scares. There's a lot of maggots as well. Like some genuine gross stuff. Kind of takes Suspiria and dials it up a little bit. I recommend it. You guys should both check it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen some clips from it, and it looks fun.
Nice. I am also still reading through some H.P. Lovecraft, and I'm also reading The Walking Dead.
Oh, the comics?
The comic. I think I'm on issue 17 or 18, something like that. They're still in the prison at the moment.
Oh, so you're not even at Negan yet?
No. I'll get there, though. I'm going through it, like, slowly but surely. Good series.
Have you seen the show?
Yeah, so I watched the show up to past the prison arc. So right now, the stuff I'm reading is still kind of familiar. Soon enough, though, I'm going to be like, I have no clue who's who and what's going on. Dev, what about you?
Yeah, so watching, I recently watched Kisagari Station, which is from 2022. It's based off of this, like, online Japanese story, which I can't remember if it was posted to 4chan or whatever. I don't know. It was like in 2004 when it was posted. And it was basically this online chat of this girl whose name is Hasumi for all intents and purposes. And she boards a train late at night on her way home. And it passes her station, and then she doesn't start recognizing anything. She's just chatting with everyone online like, hey, I'm getting kind of scared. This is really weird. The train's not stopping. And it keeps going and going and going. And everybody's like, wow, that's so strange. Like, maybe knock on the conductor's door. So she does. Nobody answers. And nobody else is on the train at this point. She's getting really freaked out. Then eventually the train does stop at a station, opens up. It's at this place called Kisagari Station, and nobody has heard of it. They're like, I don't know where that is. She calls her parents. They're like, we don't know where that is. And then a man appears at the station. And I don't want to say too much more because it's really nice and creepy. You can listen to people tell the story online. You can read the story online as well. And then at the same time, this movie is like so bad. Funny, bad, because it's an indie film and everything. And they do some POV shots, which kind of works and doesn't work. So it's equal parts really scary and equal parts like not good at all. And
how's
also,
the acting?
The acting is actually good. Which is impressive, I will say. It's a very low budget, you can tell. But it is entertaining. You can watch it on Daily Motion with English subs.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, and I've also been reading Shook, a black horror anthology graphic novel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm enjoying
That's
it.
cool. I am in the midst of making a horror short film.
Yay!
And not to get too into spoilers, it's kind of like a very specific subgenre of horror film. Specifically, like, kind of backwoods, inbred, hick mutants.
Yeah, you've been telling us to watch Wrong Turn recently, and
Wrong
I think
Turn
that
is so good.
you're giving us a hint to where it's going.
Wrong Turn, definitely watch, but I recently rewatched the remake of The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you seen this film?
I haven't seen either.
It is so intense and disturbing and brilliant.
Okay.
It is such a good film. I cannot recommend this film enough, which is kind of crazy to say. Don't watch the uncut version if you're a bit squeamish.
Thank you. Noted for myself.
Just watch, the like made for TV version for sure. But either way, it's like such a freaking good film. The effects in this movie, oh my god, they're so beautiful. And like the kind of mutant, I guess like radioactive characters in this film are so cool. And like just to think about like how the director like worked with these actors to really create these characters is so interesting. But yeah, I rewatched this to kind of get inspired for my own film because I'm gonna try to do similar makeup.
Okay.
Wow.
Can't wait to see it.
You.
Yeah.
All right, that was Who, What, Watch, Read, When, Where. Should we wrap up the show then?
Yeah.
Okay. Where can people follow us, you guys?
People can follow me on Instagram at emily.english_ and horrorho on YouTube.
And you can find me at Devin Ellis-Durity on Instagram, and Devin Ellis-Durity on YouTube, and Devin Ellis-Durity on Letterboxd.
And you can find me at Thomas N. Jackson 2002 on Instagram, also Thomas N. Jackson on Letterboxd. You can find this show at Whispers in the Woods Pod on Instagram. where you could send us a DM if you wanted to give us, say, an episode suggestion, bit of feedback, bit of criticism. We can take it. Go on ahead. It's fine.
Yeah, we could take it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then also, special thanks to Moira Christy for our themes. Thanks to Kiah Ellis-Durity for our logo. Thanks to Gordon Durity for the equipment. Thanks to me for editing. And is that about it? Do we have anything else to say?
Awoo!
Awoo! That's what
Awoo!
we say. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care of your lizard DNA. See you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Whispers in the woods.
No way! That werewolf's a lizard?